Can you check, Jaya, for the link? Sa YouTube. Yeah. I'll send it to our group chat. Okay, just look. Ayan, sharing ko na sa'yo ngayon. Copy link. Then, share. Gahang in Messenger. I'll try to share na lang on the page too. Yan. Okay. Publishing. Paki-check on the page. Okay, so nakalive na tayo sa page. Check lang. Anyway, so okay, ayan. So nakalive na lang tayo sa the Digital Architect page. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to all of you. This is Architect JP Espino, the Digital Architect. And today, I will be joined by Lish and Luningning of Taksumo.
Hi,
so,
everyone.
Yan, hello. Yan. So, they will join us to talk about how we can register our business. Okay? We're calling it Introduction to Business for Registration for Architects. Pero siguro, I just wanna say a short disclaimer that merong nililinaw kasi ang mga lawyers to architects, no? Or to us. I talked to Architect Fernandez the last time, and one of the things that he mentioned is architecture is not a business. It is a profession. So, may konting pagkakaiba ang registration natin compared to other businesses. That's what Lidge and Luningning will show us and will tell us maya-maya after ko magsalita dito. Diba? Pero we will still put it as a business kasi technically it still is a business, diba? So they will show us the ropes on how to do it step by step. I'll give them about 30 minutes or more time to introduce to us paano gagawin to. And the good thing is, after their presentation, they will show us how to easily do it in Taksumo para hindi na tayo pipila, hindi na tayo mahahassle sa processing. Of course, it is still your choice if you want to do it with Taksumo or if you want to do it on your own. So, ituturo na nila sa atin. Yun. So, question kasi dyan is, ilagay ko muna sa gitna ang aking pagmumukha. Yan. Karamihan kasi ng question ng mga architects is, okay, so, nag-board exam ka na, and congratulations, pumasa ka na. You are now a licensed architect. Makakakuha ka na ng TRC, ID mo, and all that. But, from employment, of course, before nagtrabaho ka muna as apprentice or anything, or sa iba pang kumpanya, you will now convert into your own private practice. Kasi may lisensya ka na, gusto mo na mag-put up ng sarili mong architectural firm, and all that. As I've mentioned, it's a bit different. Ang proseso natin is a bit different compared to regular businesses. Marami tayong na-skip na. We don't need business permit, we don't need mayor's permit, 'di ba? Pwede rin naman na wala tayong DTI kasi nga the PRC ID, your license alone is your ano na, your proof na that you can practice your profession. Again, we are practicing our profession. It's just that it's not essentially a business, pero we are just practicing our profession. Your license alone is good enough for you to present yourself as for your service and render your service to your clients. But we still have to go through a certain process para maging legal po tayo, magkaroon tayo ng BIR receipt and all that. So, yun nga. So, once you are now a licensed architect, pwede ka na mag-process and ito po yung magiging proseso niyan. So, I will turn you over to Lidge. Lidge, are you ready na? Okay, thank you very much. Again, this is Lidge of Taxumo. Yan. So,
Hi everyone.
hi ka
Thanks for
muna sa
having me.
kanila. And can you give us a short introduction of you, who you are, and what is Taxumo?
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Liaj Alas. Ako yung growth manager for Taxumo. So Taxumo is in essence, an online application to process and file your taxes and as well as pay for it online. So instead of going to this different banks and like process, kasi segregated masyado yung process ng BIR. So we make that end-to-end process really seamless for everyone. So from click to click to click, matapos mo na yung mga tax filings mo in just a few minutes.
Di ba? Mas madali lang. So, ito na.
Yeah.
Ituturo na sa atin ni Lidge. Mawawala na ako sa screen nyo. And I will add this in. Okay. So, there you go. Take over, Lidge. And to our viewers, to our audience, mga architects, or kung hindi ka man arkitekto, let's say you're an engineer, you're an interior designer, or maybe you're a dentist, you're a medical practitioner, you're a doctor, pwede rin to kasi it follows kung paano yung process ng registration. Pero before that, Luningning, are you ready? Ito na, naka-join in na sa atin si Luningning. I will just give a short introduction of Luningning para mapakilala ko lang sa inyo, and then they will take over na. Add muna natin si Luningning.
Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Luningning. So, lagay natin siya sa gitna.
Okay.
Ayan, say hi muna sa ating audience. Yan, okay, better.
Okay.
And give us a short introduction of yourself and what do you do with Taxumo.
Okay, so hi, good morning everyone. So I'm Luningning Coronel. So I'm a practicing accountant. I partnered with Taxumo as one of their partner accountant for tax consulting as well as business registration. So actually the purpose of this one is really to it's some sort of a consulting na din to discuss those stuff pero on a group. So ayan, thanks for having us here. Actually, hindi ko alam si Miss Digital Architect pala yung ating ngayon. Yung ating ka-discuss ngayon. So, yes.
And the rest of the digital architect followers that in community. Yeah, so again, thank you, Luningning and Lidge, for guesting in the digital architect session today. Mawawala na ako sa scenario. I'll take over. Ayan, ibabalik ko na ang inyong yan. Okay. So, Lidge, Luningning, thank you. And you may take over the presentation.
Okay. So, hi guys. So, ito yung intro to business registration for architects sa atin. So, tama naman yung sinabi ni JP kanina na iba yung, well, in essence, iba yung sole proprietorship and parang business registration for professionals. So, we'll be discussing that in detail as we go further sa slides ko. So, before we start, so we'd like to discuss naman why should you register your business? Why should you register your business? This will be played in a game. let's do it. Let's do four picks, one word, and we'll discuss. Kasi it's a lot of question like what are the benefits? Ano ba yung perks of registering your business? So we'll be discussing that in a gamification kind of way in the next slides. So hopefully you guys can help me answer these questions. So first of all, why should you register your business? Can anyone guess ano to? You get an official receipt, you get a handshake for a successful agreement, my stacks of cash, and my profit dito. So if anyone knows the answer, please comment down below, and then we'll see sino yung tama. We'll give 10 seconds para may magsasagot. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Yung answer dito is bigger clients. So why do we say it's important to register business if you want to go for bigger clients? Because when you develop your practice, eventually you'll come across bigger clients, baka mga corporations yan or companies or high income individuals. So at that point, you'll need to register your ORs. And there are a lot of like, as in the case of mga online sellers or ganon, a lot of these people don't really want to deal with individuals na walang business registration. Some of these entities as well have vendor accreditation processes. So isa sa mga requirements nila is that we present a certificate of registration and OR to deal with them. So if you really want to open up your market eventually, you'll need to start registering your business so you can get these higher ticket na clients for your practice. So yun. Next is ito. Can anyone guess what this is? You get a BDO, may BPI family housing loan dito. Nandito sa CNLIM, nandito parang approved na paper. So let's give 10 seconds for anyone to answer that. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, let's continue. So ito is, yes, that's correct, digital architect loan approval. So at some point in your business, you may need some cash injection. And then the easiest way to do that, aside from getting equity, is to get a loan approval. Say for example, you probably need a better workstation for your plans or ganon. You probably need a loan for that. The problem comes when you're self-employed and you're solely relying on your business. So ang difference kasi is that if you're employed, may HR at may or parang boss that can handle your COEs and yung parang mga form 2316 as proof of income. You don't get that luxury when you have your own practice or you're relying solely on your professional practice. So the BIR forms provides you a documentation to prove to the bank that you're a legit business and that you're earning income. So yeah, yun nga. To be able to provide these documentations, the best course of action is to actually register your business. The next dito is, I think lahat dito ito yung dreams natin. So you can see that in yung Empire, you see yung Tower of Paris, Mount Fuji, and Visa application. So can anyone guess what this is? So let's give 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So okay, so I'll proceed na lang. The next one is visa required. Okay, correct, Nads. That's visa required. So in the same line with yung loan approval, a lot of we have to admit that the Philippine passport isn't as strong. So when we apply for visas, kailangan talaga ng proof of income. So that's what happens when you're self-employed, is that you don't get that luxury like employees have, that they have an HR and boss to do it for them. So as proof of income, yung best talaga is your ITR that you present, that you file to the BIR every single year. Yun yung best proof of income mo to give to the embassies or yung visa processing agency na ginagamit mo. And lastly, the last na reason why you should get your business registered is that nakita mo natin dito, not notice to public, may na temporarily close kasi hindi nagbabayad ng tax. Ito yung BIR na building, yung mga penalties, and my gavel galing sa judge. So this is something that we don't want. We should try to avoid as much as possible. Oh, correct na naman, NADS, it's called tax penalties. So as long as you're compliant with the registration, the BIR, with your taxes and your registrations, you don't have anything to fear. Wala kang problemahin. The issue comes in when you don't really register business, because a lot of people don't know is that the BIR has been beefing up their data analytics section. So may cases kami nangyari sa Taxumo wherein our clients were filing their BIR registration, tapos to their surprise, may naghihintay ng tax penalty sa kanila. So how did that happen? So that happens when you deal with these companies or these entities na that are properly filing their business. So as part of what they provide to the BIR, kasama yun sa mga expenses and disbursements. And then kung saan nakabayad yung mga expenses nila. And then they cross-reference that sa mga list of businesses that are registered with in their system. And then may kita nila doon na, oh, si company X pala, this company has paid this amount to company X and we don't have them in their system. So parang naghihintay na lang sila, like when company X then registers to the BIR, oh, dito nagbabayad, dito nag-register, dito nagbabayad ng tax. But we have proof here. So that's what happens with tax penalty. So yes, if you really want to go after these higher ticket clients, you really to avoid payment, yung mga tax paying the tax penalties related to register your business, just to avoid just to avoid penalties. So next, so yeah, yun yung last na reasons why you should register your business. So we should always aim to be tax compliant. We should try to so you can get official receipts for bigger clients. May RTR tayo for bank loans and ITR for visa applications, and of course no tax holes, no penalties. So peace of mind as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, isa yun sa that needs to be taken care of, is our mental health. So we should try to take off a lot of these stressors as much as possible, lalo na yung taxes. So do your duty, leverage your registration, maximize to the fullest extent, and comply with your taxes. And yung hashtag natin for this session is don't be a taxo. Just register your business and pay your taxes. So moving forward, so our mission naman as Taxumo is that we believe in decent work and economic growth, and we believe na the key driver for inclusive economic growth here in the country is when we support local businesses, self-employed individuals, and freelancers and all that, because majority talaga ng mga employed ng workforce sa Philippines are employed by small business SMEs and freelancers. And next is yung government innovation and improved government services. So before Taxuma came in, ang hirap talaga mag-file ng taxes, like wala talagang online system. Then, Taxumo just proved to the BIR that, hey, we can actually improve the user experience when it comes to taxes. So a lot of the people are hesitant to pay taxes, but primarily because mahirap talaga yung process. It's not as easy as we think it is. So yeah, ganun. So let's move on to the core of our topic, registration. So there are 4 types of businesses that you have to consider when registering your business. So my professional, sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. Architects fall under the professionals. Tama yung sinabi kanina ni JP na there's another segment of sole proprietorships. Ito yung mga what we consider as yung mga brick and mortar stores, yung mga online sellers, they're sole proprietorships. But in the practice of your profession, you're considered as professional. But you can also form a partnership with other architects naman if you feel that that's the best business type for your model. So on the other columns naman, these are the government agencies that you get to deal with upon registering your business. So as a professional, as an architect, you only have to deal with the LGU and the BIR. For sole proprietors, you have to deal with DTI for the trade name, but you don't need this as an architect or a licensed professional. If you want to form partnerships and corporations naman, you'll have to deal with the SEC. And that comes with a whole lot of other documentary requirements. So if you want to transition to practice your profession, the best talaga is to go with a professional. And professional is actually the easiest business registration easiest process to follow. So, ano yung requirements for professional registration? So, ito is yung Form 1901, which is your registration form. Your Form 1905, which, if applicable naman, the Form 1905 is used for updating contact details, but yung usual use case natin dito is yung transfer of RDO or Ring Revenue District Office. Yung case dito is why, so the question now is, why do you transfer your revenue district office? Say, for example, na because you began as an employee, your business, your RDO was registered, let's say in Makati, because your company is headquartered in Makati. But then if you want to transition you to self-employment, and then your home is actually in, let's say, Quezon City, you need to transfer your RDO to Quezon City. So ganun yung mangyayari. And then yung Form 0605, this will be given upon paying your annual registration fee of 500 pesos. So next dito is yung important talaga is yung professional tax receipt. This is a proof to your LGU that you're actually working as an architect in that municipality or city. So you get this from your LGU. Next naman is your clear scan copy of birth certificate. Next is your marriage certificate if applicable. So you don't need to get married if you want to register your business. Yung proof of billing mo, which is your typical na credit card statements, telecommunication bills, ganun. 3 copies of 2 valid IDs, 3 copies of your PRC license. And then ito is your title of property or lease contract. So medyo dito nagkaka-complicated yung things because it's easy if the title of the property is under your name. But what happens if you're renting? Or what happens if you're living under your parents' house? So what happens then? What you should do next is you ask your parent, let's say your mom owns your house, or your landlord to write you a letter stating that they know that you're doing you're practicing your profession in that house or property, and they're authorizing you to do it. So ganun lang yun. Next is your copy of client or project contract. So if you have an existing client, if you have an existing contract with with someone, you present this to the BIR. But this is mostly for business categorization for the BIR. Kasi minsan nalilito sila to how to classify your registration. Next is yung barangay clearance. You get this from your friendly neighborhood barangay captain. Tapos yung last 3 dito, yung special power of attorney, letter of intent, and authorization letter. You just need this if you want someone else to process your registration for you. Just like for Taxumo, since we handle business registration, we will ask this from you once we start processing. I mean, before we start processing your BIR registration. So ito na yung last slide sa akin. So what taxes will you file and pay? So may dalawa tayo dito. It's either an 8% tax or graduated income tax. So for professionals, we recommend 8% tax because it's easier for you, less documentation, easier to compute, less documents to file, and overall, it's an easier process to follow. We only recommend graduated income tax if you have a lot of expenses. But most of the time, since we're professionals, wala naman tayo masyadong mga expenses or disbursements na ginagawa. Kasi if you do the graduated income tax, you have to present your audited financial statements and all that. Kasi if you go with your 8% tax, you'll just present yung gross. You just need to present yung gross annual revenues mo, and then we'll calculate from there. So it's easier talaga for everyone. So this is my last slide. So I think we can move on to the Q&A session.
Thank you, Leech. And so yun, nakita po natin, no, it's a bit easier for us professionals to file our taxes and also register our business. Kasi hindi na natin dadaanan yung DTI, hindi na tayo mag-mayor's permit and all that. Pero masalimuot pa rin. Marami pa rin siyang dadaan ng mga process kasi marami ring documents. Pero tama rin naman si Leech na we have to go through this process para yung binigay na niyang mga benefits is yes, we can get better paying clients. We can even offer our services to corporations na or to businesses if may papakita natin na we're legit, meron tayong resibo and all that. And other benefits would be, yes, loan approval. If you need more money para mapaikot ang negosyo natin, di ba? We will need that. And as well as kung gusto natin mag-travel, di ba? So again, thank you very much, Leach, for giving us that introduction on how we can register our business in DIR, and also ano yung magandang
Tax.
option, tax
Yeah.
option for us, which is the 8% lang. So,
Mhm.
malalaman natin ano yung difference nun. I'm trying to share this on my page kasi mas 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 maraming nanonood sa Facebook ko. Bale, nakaano naman siya. Is it okay if we cut it short for a while and then lilipat ko lang yung streaming on my Facebook page?
See? No problem.
Sige.
Yeah, no
Okay, so
problem.
idadaan ko lang to. Lilipat tayo sa Facebook page para mas maraming makapagtanong, no? Wait lang.
Okay.
Okay.